Hi, I'm Fiona Shanks, HR Business Partner with Solve HR. Unfortunately, regardless of what industry sector you operate in, employee absence is a cost for many organisations. Effective absence management processes should both support your employees while providing clear guidelines on absence reporting and sick pay schemes in place. I've created a short video in which I give you some hints and tips on what to consider when measuring absence, what you should include in your absence policy, and how to manage short and long-term absence while staying legally compliant. The short video will really get you thinking about how you can effectively manage absence in your business. When you've watched the video, should you require any further advice and guidance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Absence management involves finding a balance between providing support to those employees with health concerns remain in work or return to work from a period of absence, and taking action consistently against those employees who take time off on a regular basis without a history of health concerns. There are 4 main ways to measure absence. Time lost due to sickness absence as a percentage of contracted working time. Its advantage is that it tells you what proportion of time you get from your employees, and it's easy to calculate. You can measure by group, department, location, which can help you identify problem areas. 2. A summary of an absence record can be calculated for individual employees, departments, age groups, gender, or for your entire workforce. You can then use these to identify the most frequently reported causes of absence, patterns, and individual levels of absence. You can compare departments or employees, and both frequency and length of absence are measured and can provide trigger points for management intervention. 3. The Bradford factor combines measurement of absence frequency and duration to measure if an employee's sickness record is made up of a few or many spells of short or long-term absence. This can also indicate trends in sickness absence and also trigger points for management intervention. Finally, there are many online absence management systems which in general all help to identify patterns and trends, with some automatically calculating absence rates for individual employees, as well as providing reports on the most commonly reported causes of absence in your business, for example, and trigger points for management intervention. You should have a policy in place which reflects the culture of your business and clearly explains to employees how they should report their sickness absence and their entitlement to sick pay, to avoid any confusion as to what an employee needs to do when absent from work. In addition, the law requires employers to provide their employees with information on any terms and conditions relating to incapacity for work due to sickness or injury, including if there is any paid sick pay. Your policy should explain when and who employees should notify if they are not able to attend work due to sickness or injury, and any penalties if they fail to follow the absence reporting procedures. It should give details of any paid contractual sick pay and how this links with statutory sick pay, and any penalties if they are found to be fraudulently claiming. Your policy should set out clearly after how many days an employee needs to complete a self-certification form, and also how many days an employee needs to provide a fit note from their doctor. The policy should set out how often an employee is expected to maintain contact with their line manager, and include information about return to work interviews. Explain that the business reserves the right to require employees to attend a doctor appointed by the company with the employee's consent, or to request a report from the employee's doctor, and that you will consider adjustments to assist employees in their return to work. The policy should set out that you will consider dismissal in certain circumstances. There are a number of steps you can take to effectively manage short-term absence, including clearly distinguish between lateness, short-term and long-term absences, carry out return to work interviews with all employees for all absences of 1 day or more, and investigate the cause, level and reasons for absence. Have a trigger mechanism in place, such as the Bradford factor, to review attendance. Tie your absence policy to your disciplinary procedures to deal with unacceptable absence levels. Consider if your policy should restrict sick pay for short-term absences. Share sickness absence reporting information to line managers and train your line managers in managing absence. Involve occupational health at the earliest point where appropriate, and review your flexible working practices and provide policies setting out how employees take authorised unpaid leave to deal with circumstances other than their own sickness or injury. If there are medical issues for frequent short-term absence, consider if there are any disabilities as defined by the Equality Act 2010. To effectively manage long-term absence, you should ensure the line manager keeps in regular contact with the absent employee. Discuss with the employee to determine if there are any adjustments appropriate to help the person return to work, and carry out a risk assessment if necessary to ensure all options are discussed with the employee, including any alternative work that may be available. Use occupational health advice from the doctor to assist in understanding the employee's health condition and how it will affect them at work. Discuss with the employee and health professionals the best return to work plan that works for the employee and the business, and once the employee returns to work, the line manager should hold a return to work interview and have regular review meetings with the employee to make sure any adjustments are working. If it seems likely that the employee is not going to be able to return to work, up-to-date medical advice should be obtained before making a decision to dismiss. Employment tribunals will take the size and administrative resources available to an employer into account when deciding relevant cases. Line managers should be trained in your organisation's absence policies and procedures, their role in the absence management process, how fit notes work and how to deal with advice given by the doctor, the legal and disciplinary aspects of absence including potential disability discrimination issues, and the importance of keeping accurate absence records, as well as the role of occupational health, how to manage complex absence cases, and how your trigger points work if you have trigger points in place, and how to conduct return to work interviews. Managing long-term sickness absence in particular is a difficult process and has the potential to result in claims being raised for unfair dismissal, disability discrimination and stress claims amongst others. There are numerous pieces of legislation which all have an impact on how you deal with absence management, and I would encourage you to seek advice when dealing with long-term sickness absence cases. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video on absence management. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you need any further advice and guidance on managing absence in your organisation, please don't hesitate to contact me.